Hey, how's it going, you guys? Time to review another episode of Adventure Time. This episode is Ocean of Fear. So to summarize the episode, Finn and Jake are fighting like this giant, they call it a newt, but it's like this dragon thing, it even breathes fire. So they're fighting this thing, and the battle ends up leading them to the ocean, and in this ocean is where Finn discovers that, well, he's afraid of the ocean. He's really, really fucking scared of it. And basically the episode is about Jake trying to help him conquer his fear, which he does not do by the end of the episode, and all the while during the episode, the fear feaster keeps coming out of Finn's belly button, which is like this spirit, and it keeps telling him, you're not a good hero, you're this, you're that, blah blah blah, until the end of the episode where 3 more dudes come out of a limousine that came out of Finn's belly button, and they say, no, having flaws is, one of the things that defines a hero, and they all go back inside. And like I said, if I hadn't already said it, he does not conquer his fear by the end of the episode. But it is a character developing episode for Finn. So yeah, that's basically a quick summary of the episode. So to get into the things I liked about this episode, Mark Hamill as the Fear Feaster is awesome because Mark Hamill's a great actor. The Fire Lord from Avatar: The Last Airbender, the Joker from, Batman the Animated Series. He's a great actor. He does a great job here. Pretty generic role, but he does it fine. The other thing I want to mention is in the beginning when they're fighting that dragon, one kind of funny scene, I usually don't like fart jokes, and basically it's like if a newt steals boots, you poot on the newt. So they're farting on him. Not a fan of fart jokes, didn't really like the intro of this episode until it got to the slow-mo where Jake is sitting on top of it. It's like slow-mo, like farting on it as it shakes its head around. That was not super funny, but I was like, okay, you did something different with it. So that was nice. The next thing I want to talk about is, let me look at my notes. Oh yeah, the scene where he's trying to help Finn conquer his fear, and Finn's in bed, he's asleep, he's got his sleeping bag thing on that goes all the way around. It looks pretty cool, I like its design. And Jake's on top of him, and he tells him, hey, we have a 3-step program, let's start. And then he does this thing, and the whole room that they're in falls apart, and it turns out that it was just something that Jake built around them on the ocean. Finn starts to freak out. He's like, don't struggle. He's got ropes tied to him. This was funny. He does end up in the ocean. Every time Finn gets in the ocean and gets scared, he jumps on top of Jake and just starts beating him up, which is very funny. Not very funny, but it's funny. And essentially, they end up on this little island with a bunch of post-apocalyptic shit. There's like this boat sitting there and like a tank and a couple other things. Jake just grabs this submarine so they can go underwater. And when they're underwater, Finn's actually okay, and he's doing like this rhyming thing with Jake because it's like a promise. And I thought actually some of the rhymes were actually kind of funny. And you see more post-apocalyptic stuff with like the buildings and everything. That was all great. Once they go too deep, though, Finn gets scared and wants to go back to the surface, but Jake gets left behind, and I'm still summarizing the episode for some reason. But this is where the real character development of the episode comes in, and that's when the Fear Feaster comes out and says, you'll never be a hero, blah, blah, and he's like, you're right, I can't conquer the ocean. So he bonks himself over the head and falls in so he can rescue Jake. And he does. Oh, he starts freaking out once he realizes he's in the ocean, but Jake brings him back to the surface, and then those 3 dudes come out, and they talk to him. And yeah, like I said before, like 3 times already, Finn does not conquer his fear, but that's important because if you thought this episode kind of ended like, oh, he didn't even conquer his fear, just wait. If you have not seen the rest of the series, just wait. This episode leads to an episode in like season 5. Major setup. It's a great scene. So yeah, overall, I thought it was a good episode. I thought it was very fun. It was fast-paced. It was very enjoyable. I like water. I like the ocean in things. It's kind of scary in video games, honestly, but it's always fascinating to see underwater pictures and everything. So the way they portrayed it in this show was actually pretty cool. Like I said, it had good jokes. It had jokes that I really didn't like, but it kind of brought them back by doing something different with them. So overall, yeah, it was a very fun episode. Like I said, massive setup, character development for Finn. Yeah, it was a good episode. It was a very, good episode. If it had been funnier, I would say it was a great episode, but since it wasn't as funny as some other episodes, I'm just going to say it was a good episode. So yeah, that's my review for Ocean of Fear. I'm going to try to do one more of these tonight, and then I'll, upload them later. But I do want to do a few of these at a time so I don't fall behind like I did before. Or I did it a few. I fell behind a bunch of times, but you know what I mean. I did not find the snail in this episode. If I had to guess where the snail would be, I don't know, in the submarine with them in a random shot, maybe. Oh, the one other thing I wanted to mention, the narrator for this episode, he only talks twice. At the beginning when he does like a quote, and at the ending when he does another quote. I love that voice actor. That's Clancy Brown. He's a very nostalgic voice actor for me because he played Baron Praxis in the Jak and Daxter games. He plays Mr. Krabs in SpongeBob. So I kind of grew up with that voice actor, and I really love his way his voice sounds. So yeah, that was cool hearing him. Anything else? No, not really. I covered everything. So yeah, thanks for watching. This was a good episode, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Show the box. Open the box. And yeah, so the next episode is When Wedding Bells Thaw. So I'll be reviewing that next. Probably right now after I'm done recording this. So yeah. Thanks for watching again, and goodbye again.